Today, Bungie dropped a TWID that you're really only going to care about if you're into D2 PvP. Before we get into what was covered, quick heads up. While Bungie did briefly address the events of last week at the beginning of the TWID, they don't really cover any new ground in that department, nor do we get an actual official announcement of the final shape potentially being delayed, which again has been widely reported, including by some industry insiders like Jason Schreier, but not yet officially confirmed by Bungie. Today, I'll give y'all a summary of the upcoming PvP changes mentioned in the TWID, as well as my thoughts on some of those changes. But real quick, today's content is sponsored by Omniheroes, so let's take a minute to thank them. Omniheroes is a heroic fantasy casual strategy RPG and has received recommendations from both Google Play and App Store. It's also free to play, by the way. As an Omni Guardian, it's your duty to rescue the captive Valkyries from demons and fight together against evil throughout the world. You can summon over 100 uniquely designed heroes, unlock all kinds of synergies, and match hundreds of team comps at will. Omniheroes has the best of both worlds, casual, relaxed gameplay for y'all who want to unwind, while also providing enough depth and exploration for players who enjoy a more strategic challenge. With a whopping 17 unique synergies and over 100 team comps, you're the mastermind behind powerful battle buffs. And if you're a multitasker, hey, this game is for you. Feel free to relax and let the automated mechanics take over. Drop in whenever you like to claim the rewards they've earned for you. Omniheroes is gearing up for a new season, Ashen Phantom, on November 17th, which will feature a captivating new storyline and roguelike deck builder new gameplay. Don't wait, download Omniheroes now and get 777 free summons, welcoming 5 legendary heroes into your roster within the first week. Thank you, Omniheroes. Alright, back to the TWID. If you didn't hear about it, there was a community puzzle, kinda, aka the final challenge of the Imbaru engine activity. Might want to complete that if you haven't done it yet, or at the very least check out the new cinematic cutscene for the next season, because it's a little bit of a lore update, kinda. But yeah, Season of the Wish is the official name of Season 23, which drops on November 28th. Alright, now for PvP changes coming in Season 23. Playlist-wise, we're getting a new 3v3 quick play node, which I actually think is a good idea because I like 3v3, but I don't always want to sweat my nuts off. There's going to be a new 6v6 quick play node and a rotating control mode, which I'll explain in a minute, that lives inside of a new 6v6 unranked playlist. They'll also be revising which modes rotate through each node. A lot of node talk, but remember, a node is one of the options you can pick in the directory, and the modes are the game types that live under that umbrella. We then get the breakdowns of how each node works. In 3v3 quick play, connection and latency will be prioritized with no mention of skill at all. Translation, y'all, the 3v3 quick play node will have no skill-based matchmaking, apparently, which is actually kind of huge for those out there wanting a connection-forward experience in PvP. Oh, and when Trials comes around, the 3v3 quick play node also goes bye-bye for the weekend. 3v3 ranked will naturally prioritize rank, but if rank and skill are widely different, it'll blend the two, which is interesting. Just gonna put this out there, I still think that it should all be 100% rank based in the rank playlists, but then again, I'm not a game dev. 6v6 unranked will prioritize connection, but still have some form of loose skill-based matchmaking. It'll rotate through different variations of control, including the brand new Sparrow control game type, which kind of sounds like a meme, but yeah. You know how in the past you could take out your Sparrow on that one new PvP map? Well, yeah, Bungie is leaning into that apparently with the eventual creation of Sparrow control in Season 23. Think of it this way though, if you see any control node in the directory, that is 6v6 unranked. 6v6 quick play will also be pure connection-based matchmaking, apparently, and will rotate through weekly modes. Free-for-all will also be connection-based, good news for all 12 of you out there who still play that game type. I want to be just really clear here, while a lot of these nodes do seem to prioritize connection, skill-based matchmaking isn't, quote, dead or anything like that, which I've already heard floating around on social media. Bold claim, by the way. No love lost to any of my homies, but like it says right in the thing, that 6v6 unranked, aka control, which I think is what most people play in casual PvP, still contains loose skill-based matchmaking. Like, it's right there. But anyway, I'm gonna say it again though. 3v3 quick play, that sounds great to me. Looking forward to trying that out for sure. Elaborating on the nodes a little bit more. 3v3 ranked, aka the competitive node, Bungie wants it to have one deathmatch mode and one objective mode. The objective mode will be Countdown Rush, and survival will be the deathmatch mode for Season 23. The 3v3 quick play node will rotate through elimination and showdown through Season 23. Rift is apparently potentially on the docket for the future, to which I say, please, for the love of no, not in 3v3, thank you. 6v6 unranked will rotate through different variations of control in addition to OG control. I think that's kinda interesting. I'll admit Sparrow control does sound kinda silly and fun, but I might just be annoyed when it shows up and replaces regular control for an entire week. I'm just saying, I want to roll into control like normal and not have 5 drunk-ass blueberries trying to bump me off the map in their Sparrow instead of shooting their damn guns and capping the damn zones, but that is one man's opinion. I'll still play the game type though, it sounds like fun. Bungie mentions they want to move into a future where they mix and match modes and modifiers and enable players to do the same. More on that another time, apparently. The 6v6 quick play node is a consolidation of the party and relentless rotators of the past. In addition to leaning into the meme, apparently a unique medal will be up for grabs when Sparrow control is around. Also, the playlist will be weighted towards bigger maps. Checkmate is getting some changes too. The ability cooldown penalty is decreasing from 50 to 30%, which kinda risky. Watch it there, Bungie. Low ability cooldowns is part of what makes Checkmate fun, IMO, but not too wild of a change, at least on paper. Also, Trials Labs will include Checkmate Dominion, which I think sounds really interesting. Moving on, Bungie goes on to discuss how they measure skill in-game and how that system will be evolving in Season 23. Fair amount of tech lingo here, but TLDR, they're hoping to allow for a wider range of skill in lobbies while maintaining match fairness. They also hope players will feel more comfortable with not playing the meta 100% of the time, which, yeah, it sounds great to me, but yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. Bungie's gonna try to improve the spawn system too in PvP. Good, because if I had a nickel for every time I got killed on spawn by a thunder crashing titan, I could stop doing Raid Shadow Legend ads. If you care about comp in D2, which I have to imagine is probably a really small portion of the player base, Bungie is making changes to how rank points are earned, putting more emphasis on wins and losses rather than the mysterious performance factor. If I wanted to get judged based on my performance, I'd spend more time with my parents, thank you very much. Bungie's removing promotion and relegation series requirements for all divisions except Adept and Ascendant. Going forward, you'll only need to prove your skill when entering the most elite of ranks. Moving on, they go over changes to Survival and Countdown Rush, which are mostly minor changes. You can read about them here if you want. In Trials, Bungie is making it so that the player will get more rewards on their card even if they don't end up going flawless, which IMO is a great idea. Trials is a loot-based playlist right now and way more popular than comp will ever hope or dream of being. So getting more people into Trials and keeping it alive and healthy is a good call. Looking over the rewards, none of them are crazy. But again, keeping numbers up in Trials is a top priority, or should be a top priority for the PvP strike team or whatever they're called. Bungie also mentions that this is the first step in their journey to make Trials a more rewarding experience for those who can't go flawless consistently. And on that note, I'ma just say it. Some people out there are gonna 100% complain and whine about Bungie giving out handouts and yada yada yada, rewarding people for being bad and who can't go flawless. Fuck those people, straight up. Getting more players into Trials is good for Trials as a whole. I guarantee you that those same people who are going to complain about Bungie giving rewards on a 3-win card are the same people who also complain that their Trials matches were sweaty AF all weekend long, no one plays anymore, blah blah blah. Ignore them, this is a good change. Also, Bungie has upped the drop rate of adept weapons on a 7-win card after Flawless, which is my favorite change in the whole damn TWID. In addition to the changes, Bungie will be running a weekend of Trials Labs where the Checkmate modifier will be active. Hell yeah to that, by the way, but no date given. Comp weapon focusing is coming in Season 23, which I think is a really good idea. However, you'll only be able to focus weapons once you've completed your placement matches in comp, which is interesting. On top of that, you're going to be limited to a number of weekly focuses based on the highest rank you've achieved so far that season. At the moment, I kind of like that. Might actually play comp in Season 23 to get a good rose drop. Bungie says even more PvP changes are coming down the line, so please bear with them. Moving on, we have a ritual weapon preview, which is going to be a Void Caster Sword, which might be fun in PvE because it can apparently roll Repulsor Brace and destabilizing rounds. It can also roll with a new perk called Attrition Orbs. Dealing sustained damage creates an orb of power. Sounds kind of fun. Don't think it'll be super meta for DPS or anything like that, but will probably go great with a lot of Void 3.0 builds in PvE. We get a preview of loot leaving and entering the Trials banner and Nightfall loot pools. Out of everything on the table, I think I'm most interested in the new Trials Strand Trace Rifle. By the way, apologies in advance to the new Nightfall Undercurrent grenade launcher. I don't want to be a hater too early, but wow, are my hopes for you low. No offense, but you have unreal competition in the form of the Forbearance grenade launcher, also Arc by the way. The Undercurrent legit better do my taxes and give me a back rub, or I really won't even think about giving it the time of day. And aside from some art of the week, that's it. Don't think this was going to be the giant splash of a TWID that a lot of people were hoping for, especially coming off of the insanity that was last week. Let me know down in the comment section. Are these changes going to move the needle for y'all, or do you need more / not care? Personally, I like these changes as a PvP player, but I totally understand how they may go fairly unnoticed by a large portion of the community. I guess time will tell. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.